Hi everyone, we're pleased to present our evaluation plan today for Allen County Voice, put together by Tanya Payne, Isabel Diaz, and Mark Hayes. The health problem that our chosen program focuses on is the use of tobacco and nicotine products among youth, generally among the teenage population. Smoking continues to be one of the leading causes of death around the world due to the extreme toxicity of tobacco smoke and is also associated with downstream health issues from smoke inhalation. A national CDC survey in 2022 found that smoking cigarettes, vapes, and cigars is a common activity among nearly 17% of high school students and 5% of middle school students, with hundreds of their peers beginning to smoke for the first time each day and often before the age of 18. The program we have chosen to evaluate is Allen County Voice. It's a program housed within the organization of Tobacco-Free Allen County, serving the greater Fort Wayne metro area of Indiana. Allen County Voice prioritizes helping youth create a voice against the tobacco industry that targets them, raising consciousness and discretion related to using tobacco products, and using peer modeling of a tobacco-free lifestyle to reduce use rates among the youth of Allen County. They carry out their mission statement to engage youth leaders and advocates in the movement against teen tobacco use and the tobacco industry, empower youth to mobilize and take action, and educate community members and leaders about the manipulative and deceptive marketing tactics of tobacco companies by using community events that raise awareness of the physical and mental risks of tobacco and nicotine use. Youth members of Allen County Voice put on events like sidewalk chalking, visiting local high schools during lunch hours, meeting with government officials, and group cleanups of cigarette waste from public spaces in the community.
Program evaluations are key to knowing if a health program is achieving the goals they set out to accomplish. Evaluations collect data to back up the program, help maintain funding and support from stakeholders, gain valuable feedback from the participants and the community, and provide information to improve the program. The evaluation plan we have created for Allen County Voice will serve as an important glimpse into the program and provide a comprehensive understanding of the program's impact. The objectives of this program are to improve health outcomes amongst voice youth participants and youth within the community. The goal of this evaluation is to examine the effectiveness of the program and whether it is operating as intended. Here is the logic model we have created of Allen County Voice. The inputs are the resources utilized by the program. The activities are the events that the program has created or other administrative tasks. The participation is the output of those activities, so how many people attended each event or how many of the administrative tasks were completed. The outcomes were divided into short and intermediate. These include changes in personal determinants such as knowledge, awareness, and self-efficacy, and changes in behaviors such as decreases in a risky behavior like smoking. The impact or long-term outcomes are the health outcomes like increased life expectancy and improved physical and mental health that will take longer to achieve. For the evaluation, we chose two outputs, the Sidewalk Chalk art event and the number of views on social media posts, and one short-term outcome, which was increased voice use, knowledge, and awareness. These are boxed in red on the logic model. In the next slides, we will go over how we will evaluate these items.
All right, so looking at question 1, this question is looking to evaluate the Allen County Voice Sidewalk Chalk event, which is a process, activity, and our logic model. This activity enables youth to use creative elements to raise awareness about the dangers of nicotine and tobacco use. The use of chalk in this activity will hopefully make this event stand out from other experiences and make the information more memorable. Evaluating this activity will help in the understanding of how effective the creative elements of this event are at delivering educational content. An evaluation of this program will also help to understand if youth feel engaged by this activity, how it can promote peer interaction, and whether youth understand the activity's content, all of which are important factors for the success of this event. So looking at the design, since this evaluation seeks to evaluate the effectiveness of the activity itself and not determine causality between the activity and a learning outcome, a one group post test only design would be the best for this activity, as opposed to a two group post test only design. The two group post test would be comparing the participant group and non-participant group to look for changes in causality, whereas the one group post test only design is simple and resource efficient, making it more accessible for a small health program with a limited budget like Allen County Voice. This design will also provide a simple and straightforward way to evaluate the single activity without using comparison groups or time series. So looking at the methods, observational data analysis seems to be the best fit for this evaluation design. This method would allow for the evaluation of the sidewalk chalk event without having to compare multiple groups. Like the one group post test only, using observational data would also be simple and would provide an effective way to summarize the overall event. And as a result of these factors, this method aligns with the one group post test only evaluation design. So looking at data, the quality of the messaging in the chalk drawings, this could involve an event staffer going around during the event and capturing photos of the participants' drawings to be analyzed after the event. Doing so would allow the quality and the clarity of the messaging, creativity, and accuracy of the chalk drawings to be measured. Next, participant engagement from surveys. So surveys could be conducted at the conclusion of the event to collect data on participant engagement. This type of survey would use open-ended questions which are qualitative in nature. Looking at quantitative methods, the event duration. The event duration could be measured based on the start and end times, and this could be used to determine if the event's duration met expectations and identify potential complications that may have held up the activities.
Our second question comes from the process side of the logic model. While the corresponding activity is to maintain a strong and active presence on the program's social media platforms, this question seeks to evaluate the output of the social media presence or the magnitude of audience engagement generated through high-quality content. Our society is becoming increasingly reliant on technology, so online platforms are rising up as a standard and reliable means of mass communication. Assessing this output will help the program staff determine whether the frequency and content of the program's posts on their social media effectively generates substantive views and compels the community not only to engage with them on social media, but also to show up to community events that are being promoted. A strategic use of the program's social media accounts will generate likes, comments, and shares on their platforms by creating and posting educational and visually appealing content that people perceive adds value. For this design, since the question assesses the quality of social media content and is not looking to determine causality between posts and turnout, a one-group post test only design is the most appropriate here. One caveat regarding a one-group post test is that putting metrics to engagement is similar to putting metrics to recruitment, in the sense that the program has a specific population that they're targeting and everyone else that they're not targeting. So when assessing engagement, the evaluation should take into account the difference between these groups. For example, youth between the ages of 13 and 18, which is the target population, and everyone outside that age range. Because the social media accounts are public, they may have a group of followers that aren't the target but are engaging, or a group of followers within the target population that are not engaging. In terms of methods, each social media platform has their own means of measuring performance that will be described in later detail in this presentation, but the evaluation method will use descriptive statistics run on the data from each platform system to quantify engagement and viewership. That data will then contribute to a qualitative assessment that will look at the quality of content and determine if certain elements of a social media post makes the target audience more likely to like the post, comment on the post, or share it to their feed. In terms of data, the types of data to be collected across the platforms is pretty consistent, and these metrics are things such as reach, which is the number of unique accounts that have seen your post and therefore how much awareness and value you're gaining. Engagement rate, so what percentage of your following has interacted with your content and if your followers are commenting, liking, and saving your account. Traffic would be the amount of clicks that your website or profile drives, and this is really a jackpot for understanding what motivates your audience. Saves is, of course, the number of times your post has been bookmarked. Shares indicates how many times a post was sent to another user through Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Audience growth helps you see exactly how many followers you gain and lose each day. And lastly, the best time to post so that they can increase the likelihood of followers actually seeing and engaging with their posts.
Evaluation question 3 is based on the short-term outcome of voice participants' awareness and knowledge. An evaluation of this outcome is to determine the progress of improving a personal change determinant. In this program, that would be voice use, awareness, and knowledge of nicotine and tobacco risks. An evaluation of this short-term outcome would help determine if the program is reaching its overall goals of educating the community and engaging with the youth. The design for this evaluation question is a one-group pre-test post-test. The method is an online survey with questions adapted from the Indiana Youth Tobacco Survey and the Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System. Both contain validated questions that measure youth tobacco use and youth participation in risky behaviors. The tobacco surveys are used to measure tobacco-related behaviors, attitudes, beliefs, and exposure to pro- and anti-tobacco influences. The risk behavior survey is used to measure and track negative behaviors that can lead to poor health outcomes in youth. The survey will contain both closed and open-ended questions, meeting a mixed methods approach of collecting data. I chose this design and method due to the size of the program. I believe this will create the most amount of useful data without stretching their team too thin. The quantitative data collected will help measure changes in awareness and knowledge based on specific indicators. This data can then be compared to the state and county data collected from the Indiana Youth Tobacco Survey. The qualitative data collected will showcase personal experiences and insights about the program, such as their experiences with nicotine and tobacco, what they have learned over the course of the program, and if they are able to share any new knowledge with their community.
All right, so next we'll be looking at the timeline and data collection for this evaluation plan. So before the intervention for evaluation question 3, program implementers should identify questions that assess knowledge and awareness from the validated surveys chosen and create a survey using Google Forms. Looking during the intervention, first looking at question 3, when students sign up for the first activity, phone numbers and an email should be collected so that the survey can be sent out. Follow-up reminders could be sent out to help increase number of participants filling out the survey. Looking at question 1, photos will be taken of participants during participants' drawings during the Allen County Voice Sidewalk Chalk educational event. This will provide insight into the quality, clarity, and accuracy of the messaging. Another part of evaluation question 1, a participant engagement survey could be conducted at the end of the Sidewalk Chalk event to analyze the feelings of engagement among the event's participants. And the last element that'll be done during the intervention is also part of question 1. So the start and end times could be recorded over the duration of the Sidewalk Chalk event to help identify potential complications and disruptions during the event. All right, so looking at data collection that'll be done after the intervention. So for our evaluation question 2, to assess the effectiveness and quality of the content posted on social media channels, analytical data will be run on each social media platform after a period of advertising the event to understand the degree to which engagement with the content resulted in community turnout. And finally, an element of question 3, at the end of the school year, the post test can be sent out through text and email.
Here are the evaluation tools we plan to use. For question 1, for the Sidewalk Chalk event, there will be observational assessments, qualitative surveys, and a time log. For the observational assessment, this will be done using photographs of participants' chalk drawings. It is designed to assess visual quality, clarity, creativity, and accuracy of the drawings. This tool was chosen due to the nature of the drawings and the need for a qualitative method to evaluate the drawings. A qualitative survey will be a post-event survey designed to measure participant engagement through open-ended questions. This will provide an insight into overall participant experience and help identify any areas for improvement. And a time log will be used to document the start and end times of the Sidewalk Chalk event. Doing so will help analyze event duration and identify complications or disruptions. For question 2 about social media engagement, Instagram Insights, Facebook Analytics, and TikTok Business Center will be used. For Instagram Insights can be used to learn overall trends across a page's followers and content performance with the audience. Insights are free and available only for business or creator accounts. Facebook Analytics, also free, is a tool that shows companies aggregated data on their audiences, user behavior, and post performance to help them target customers and how to reach them effectively. TikTok Business Center is a similar capability available to creators and business users of the video sharing app. Each of these platforms' respective performance metric systems can help the program understand who their audience is, when they're most active, and what type of content they engage with most. This is important for creating a content strategy that continues to effectively recruit youth to join Allen County Voice. With so many readily available metrics built into social media apps, any social media professional can run a healthy, growing account using the data each platform provides. Third-party tools such as Sprout Social, HubSpot, Rival IQ, Brand24, or BuzzSumo can offer more advanced details compared to native platform analytics, including trending topics, advanced social listening, hashtag performance, engagement rate calculation, and additional insights that can be used to create and track social media campaigns. Another great option is Google Analytics. While it is not a social media analytics tool specifically, the release of GA4 has come with some new features that allow for in-depth analysis of which website traffic arises from social media. Compared to the previous version of GA, where social media was treated as an afterthought, GA4's automated interface separates both organic and paid social traffic from referral or paid media channels. And then for the last question about increased voice youth awareness and knowledge, validated surveys such as the Indiana Youth Tobacco Survey and the Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance Survey will be used. These are both validated surveys used by the CDC and FDA. These surveys are used to measure youth tobacco use and youth participation in risky behaviors. The youth tobacco surveys are used to measure tobacco-related behaviors, attitudes, beliefs, and exposure to pro and anti-tobacco influences. This survey is sent out yearly. The risk behavior survey is used to measure and track negative behaviors that can lead to poor health outcomes in youth. Both surveys will provide updated information and statistics about youth smoking that can be used as a comparison group against the Voice Youth.
Alright, so this slide is going to look at how we plan on presenting our findings to different stakeholders. So the program stakeholders for this evaluation are middle school to high school age students, schools, healthcare providers, environmental activists, and local Allen County municipalities. Presenting our findings, starting off with students, an interactive presentation could be done that includes personal testimony from peers who are involved in Allen County Voice. Looking at schools, a presentation could be given to school administrators providing recommendations for stricter tobacco monitoring on school properties. Next, looking at healthcare providers, a formal evaluation report could be compiled and provided to local pediatricians with the recommendation to encourage cessation referrals to youth smokers. Next, looking at environmental activists, a presentation could be done to highlight the outcomes of the Voice program's cigarette butt cleanup event. This could hopefully be used to help establish partnerships with environmental activist organizations. And lastly, looking at local policymakers, a formal evaluation report could be compiled and presented with recommendations on future policy improvements to reduce tobacco use among youth populations.
Here are a list of references that we used to compile this presentation. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to hearing your feedback.